Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Comic Talk. And as you can see, we have a full house today. Lots of great creators here. So we will get things started with introductions. So we have a few returning faces and then some new ones. So glad to see a big full house. So let's start with introductions. So Rich, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Richard Jones III. I'm actually out of Buckeye Lake, Ohio. I've been an inker for the longest time, but I've also been an illustrator for pretty much all my life. Peddled around with some stuff, and I've got a lot of projects going on.
That's awesome. And yeah, we'll talk about those when we get to our promotion section. Looking forward to that because he's got the better tech savviness than I do, so he can show us some cool images and things like that, and not just squint his way through the whole segment. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then Mike, welcome back. Tell us a little bit about
Hi there.
yourself.
I'm Mike. I'm a writer from Bristol in the UK, the city where every day is Talk Like a Pirate Day. And I'm here to talk about our Kickstarter for my comic about imperfect superhumans, which is secretly about disability.
Nice. Yes, and looking forward to that. And then Nicholas, welcome to the show and tell us a little bit about yourself.
How's it going? I'm Nick Ulanowski. I'm a journalist, Substack writer, comic reviewer, and I'm here to promote the Kickstarter for my upcoming book, Truth Before Comfort, Confessions of a Comic Book Journalist. I also wrote the horror novel Massacre at the Comic Shop, which is a horror novel that takes place at a comic book store.
Awesome. All right. Madeline, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name's Madeline Holly Rosing. I am the writer-creator of the Steampunk Supernatural series, Boston Metaphysical Society, which is on Kickstarter right now. Also, my new series, Morgana Pendragon, and the latest series of Lady Mechanica, which just dropped from Image Comics called The Mechanical Menagerie.
Oh, nice. So that's actually, I know you had been talking about that at Comic-Con last year. So
yeah,
issue
issue one dropped earlier this month, and the second issue will drop on June 10th, I believe.
Very cool. All right. And Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I am Aaron Rublewski. I'm the writer-creator of several comic series. Anenra is my first dabble in comics. That's currently issue 8 is on Kickstarter right now. I've got Blood and Fire, Ice and Bone, which is a samurai action horror. Pillars of Creation, which is a science fiction horror. That's got late pledges still available right now. And Amor Patris, which is supernatural horror. So all horror.
Yes. Yeah. We can tell you have your wheelhouse in horror, and that's good.
I'm dabbling into dark fantasy next in the horror, so I'm going to cover all the bases.
There you go. Very cool. All right. So this topic came up, our first one, because I haven't watched it yet, but the online reaction to the Boys finale was less than pleased, let's say. The majority of people I'm reading are saying it was terrible. So I wanted you to think, what's something of a book to film adaptation that just failed? It can be book to movie, book to TV, whatever medium they adapted it into, something that failed.
Well, so I would say that the animated movie for Batman: The Killing Joke completely failed. For some reason, they made half the movie about Barbara Gordon. Well, actually, I know why the reason. What the reason for that is, it's because it's addressing the criticism where people think the book is problematic. But like, still, the story is not about Barbara Gordon. Also, the original artwork from Brian Boland is so dynamic and so cool, and it's just so flat in that movie. And the whole thing with Batman and Barbara Gordon hooking up was weird. But even if that scene wasn't in the movie, the animated adaptation of Batman: The Killing Joke is such a failure. And honestly, even though I am bringing it up, it kind of bothers me that anytime I bring up that book, people just have to bring up this bad movie. Like, the book is 30 years old approximately, and the movie's 10 years old. I don't know. We should just forget that movie ever even happened and just think about the great book.
I've never watched the movie. I heard all the complaints and just decided to skip that one. and sounds like for the better. So Richard, what one would you pick? What film to book adaptation or book to film adaptation just failed?
The newest version of The Crow. My gosh, was absolutely horrific. And it to be quite honest, it didn't stick with the book at all, which I was told was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
They kind of picked and chose what they wanted from all the different Crow books and just mashed it all together.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they made him look like a juggalo, like the Joker as well.
It was
like, all right, come on, don't juggalo up the Crow. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones. Again, I haven't watched it because I hated the trailer alone. I hated. I saw it. I'm like, all right, they're doing that. And like you said, the promise was if we're going to remake this movie, it's going to be a faithful adaptation of the book. And really, that's the only reason to touch the original Crow, because even though it wasn't a perfect adaptation, it got the spirit of the book, if nothing else. It had the spirit. It felt like, the book. It may not have adapted every scene perfectly, but it just, it doesn't have to be a perfect, shot for shot adaptation. Then we get into The Watchmen, and it's kind of like, all right, give it your own voice. You have no voice in this movie besides everything is slow. That's your voice. And it's that finally is ended. But I think, it's finding that tone, and this one with the promise of, it's going to be a perfect adaptation. And then as soon as you see it, it's Joker's the, tattooed up, and they're not Joker. They're one and the same in my brain. And the trailer alone made me say, I'm passing on this one. Kind of like The Killing Joke. When I heard it was started with Barbara Gordon, it's like, I'm going to pass. So those two adaptations, I'm going to take your word for it, because I'm not going to waste my time.
Well,
I don't have infinite time to use, and I don't need to spend it watching garbage. So
I was surprised and shocked they didn't just, cast Jared Leto on that. They might as well have.
Just bring in Jared Leto. Like, Jared Leto, we're going to tattoo you up again.
Yeah.
And you're going to come in and you're going to, be something that everyone hates one more time.
All right.
All right. So, Mike, what do you think? What's your thought on this one?
I mean, I had to think about it because, there's a lot of things that I could kind of bring up that are mainly like, you really have to get into the minutiae of like what the fan base wants and stuff. So if you're not part of it, you wouldn't necessarily understand. But something that I think I can get across is, it's not necessarily a failure as a film, but in the sense of like succeeding at translating the actual source material to the screen. I think one of the funniest like flops at adapting a book to the screen would be iRobot. Because they took like a collection, like an anthology of short stories, like meditating over like the ramifications of trying to give machines some kind of human like morality or some kind of set of rules as to how to behave and how that could break down in logical ways. And they just made it like an action movie with Will Smith where they sell Converse shoes to you. You might be surprised to learn that the amount of times that Isaac Asimov wrote about Converse shoes is zero.
I'm sure that wasn't a thought in his mind, not the merchandising of his products or his.
I'm not sure Converse existed when Asimov was writing.
I don't think so, but yeah, that's one. I've seen the movie but hadn't read the source material. So even as a movie, I thought it was just kind of mediocre. That's when Will Smith was in everything, it seemed like.
I mean,
before
I
the
enjoyed
slap,
it.
And now he's in nothing.
A fun little action movie, but it was because the funny thing is that a detective teaming up with a robot, that's closer to Caves of Steel than it is to iRobot. So the idea that they called it it was iRobot in name only.
Yeah, I guess they paid for the rights and they were going to use them to name that movie and hope to get some Asimov fans into the mix of things.
They dropped the free laws in there too, technically speaking, but that was it. Free laws and the name.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't read the book, and I honestly,
the movie
didn't even register in my brain when I watched it. So
it's a collection of short stories, so it's easy to,
nice little chunks. I like that.
Mhm.
All right, so Madeline, what do you think? What's a film adaptation that just failed?
Well, I have to agree on the iRobot. iRobot as a standalone movie was just fun. It was just go fun, had nothing to do with the book. Other than the 3 laws. That was it. So
Yeah.
you just had to go in there and just roll with it and
Mhm.
have a good time. Probably like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where
Mm.
they just threw in extra characters and that made no sense. And I guess I heard a rumor somewhere that Sean Connery hated it so much, his role, that he stopped acting after that.
Yeah.
But
Supposedly, he did that role because he was offered Gandalf, didn't understand the source material, the books, turned it down, saw what it actually became of, and thought, well, I don't understand this movie. I'll do this instead.
Yeah, I'm not going to make
Yeah.
that mistake twice because I listened to
Yeah.
a whole podcast on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and what a mess the adaptation was, just everything about it. I mean, Alan Moore hated it, but he's generally going to hate any
of course.
adaptation. But with right, he hated this one because they just made random changes and shrunk Mina's character because she was such a big one in the book, and they just kind of everything about that movie. That honestly, even if you don't know the book, it's a garbage movie. Because my wife we went to see it. I was so excited, loving that comic series, and I was telling her, "Oh, it's so good," and I'm kind of describing it, and then we walk out. She's like, "All right, tell me that was a bad adaptation, because if you loved that, then I don't know. We got to think."
Yeah, I mean,
We're divorced.
I mean, I often use when talking about Boston Metaphysical,
Mhm.
Thematically, people like, and I go like, oh, it's like in the vein of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but
Mm.
not the movie, the comic.
Yeah. Like separate
Well,
that
big
right
bold
away.
next to it.
right there. Yeah, immediately.
But see, I actually like Jekyll and Hyde in that, like that version of Jekyll and Hyde. I kind of liked it for some reason.
Well, definitely there's, individual characters, yeah, that
There's
were
pieces that
very
are okay.
charming
Yeah.
pieces. And even though I have to throw this in, I actually like the ending of The Boys. I'm sorry. That totally worked for me.
And I haven't seen it, so I'm not judging. I'm
I don't want to.
I'm about a season behind because I watch it with my daughter, and we
Okay,
won't
well, I
go
don't want to
ahead
ruin
without
it
each other.
for you,
Yeah,
but
so
to me, it ended appropriately.
okay, and I'm not judging it. I just listened to the internet backlash, and it's like, okay, that sounds like a topic for the day, but it's one of those things where my daughter and I started watching it, and now we have to wait to watch it. And since now both of us are on summer break, so she's on summer break from college and I'm on summer break from teaching, we'll blast through and finish it and judge it ourselves, which I've read they hate it, but I haven't clicked on any of the articles because I don't want to know. I want to be surprised and see if I actually think it was good or not.
Yeah, judge for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Is just now we got a season and a half to catch up on and finish it proper. All right. So, Aaron, what do you think? What's one that failed for you?
The first thing that came to mind when I saw the question, it was like a twofold answer. The first one was Judge Dredd, the original adaptation,
the
which then
Stallone one?
screwed. Yeah, the Stallone one, which then obviously screwed the newer one with Carl Urban, and that kicked ass.
That
I
one's
love that
great.
movie.
Yeah, that one's that's a great adaptation right there.
I was just at Lawless Comic Con, and like every single person there would agree with you on that one.
Yeah. It basically tainted the name, and as soon as you saw another Judge Dredd, it obviously didn't do well at the box office, but I mean, it's such a great movie. It had such because I think they were looking at doing a trilogy at one point with the Dark Judges on the last movie. I mean, that alone deserves the whole thing to be done. I mean, it was great. But
and it didn't get the previous shot at all.
Yeah, the previous one tainted it and ruined a good adaptation.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so Madeline, you had one of mine, but I always have to pick however many guests there are. I got to pick that many. So I'm going to go with one that as a teacher let me down, and that was A Wrinkle in Time, because that was teaching 5th grade, teaching 6th grade. that was one of my go-to read alouds for the students, and the students loved it. They got so excited about this story, and we actually did a thing where, okay, the movie's coming out, we're gonna read the book in class, and then when the movie comes out, we're gonna meet at a movie theater and we're gonna watch it together. And you've never seen a class of 5th graders look so disappointed as they're walking out of the theater, like, oh my gosh, they got everything wrong. And it's just like you're feeling them, because you're just like, oh, welcome to the world of seeing your favorite books adapted into movies. You're going to learn at a young age that it's always a roll of the dice, and this one failed.
Well, I have to say, one of the best novels to movie adaptations I've seen is The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, it's great.
Yes, I know it's decades old, but
Yeah.
older than some of you, I suspect.
No
but-
comment.
No comment. But yeah, I've read the book, which is huge, and so it gets deep into technical stuff and everything. But they did a great job in the movie, for those who haven't seen it, of whittling that all down to make it an exciting action adventure of what's going on. And yeah, there's a few things that are dated, but I was really surprised, and they did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's when I've seen the movie.
It's next to impossible, though, isn't it, to adapt a book, because there's so much in a book that you're never gonna have a true representation on TV, on either TV or film. It's almost impossible.
TV's the closest thing, but when you do it, okay, you're gonna show 10 episodes, maybe. Let's say that seems to be the go-to, and even then, you're gonna have to cut some things if the book is dense enough. And then they decide, oh, well, you know what, we're going to start adding new things. Because I think about the first Percy Jackson. That's another one that I read aloud to my class. That's part of the 6th grade curriculum. And the first movie,
the Lightning Thief and
is
stuff,
so bad. Yeah, the Lightning Thief movie. The first movie's so bad, and now they've redone it as an HBO. I think it's HBO.
No, it's on Disney.
Or no, Disney Plus. Sorry,
Disney series, yeah.
they did a Disney Plus series, and it's a better adaptation, but it still misses the mark at certain points. But it's got more in it. It's not trying to squish, this dense book into 90 minutes. But it's still, a lot of the kids were still complaining because of course, you read it in 6th grade and they're like, oh no, I watched it already. I know it's everything that's going to happen. Like, well, you can still be surprised because it's not going to have everything in there. And it's interesting. It leads to good discussion with the classes. Like, okay, let's compare and contrast. Let's see what did they miss the mark on and what did they actually get right. So it creates good discussion and gets them thinking, okay, books are better, and let's read the book, because the book's always going to be the better of the two.
Well, that's the question for your next podcast, Ed. What medium is the hardest to adapt to?
Yeah. That's a good one, because I'm always trying to think of questions. Oh my gosh, it's a battle every week. Like, read the headlines. What can I do? Because now that we're over 100 shows deep, it's like, okay, my original master plan of never repeating a topic. Oh, that one's dead. But like, let's just get good and engaging topics and never make a person hopefully have to do the same topic twice. That's why I look through the threads. Like, okay, what have I done with these people, and make sure that it's at least interesting and new. But the next one, this is because we are being live streamed at a con, and I was
the name of which we're fully aware of.
Yeah, the con somewhere in America.
Yeah.
We're on a table being watched. Where in America? I don't know. So
Yeah, watched.
all right. So as we
People
said,
just walk past.
good morning, fill in the blank. Welcome to the show. So whoever fill in the blank is, I hope you're enjoying what you watch. So this one is, and I was talking backstage before you came in, Madeline. I was saying that I've been near you at cons, and I've watched you and kind of stolen some of your ideas. So let's let you go first on this one. How do you succeed at cons? What is your trick?
Well, it's not so much a trick as a process. And processes begin with the right tools.
Yes.
And this may seem really boring, but you need good shoes. You need a mat to stand on. You need water. Or whatever, you got to stay hydrated.
Yes.
You have to have small snacky things that don't gum up your hands. I was in awe of these two young ladies at the Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario a couple years ago who were using chopsticks to eat their chips so they didn't get their
smart.
hands on it. I said, that's brilliant. That is
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. I don't eat chips, so I would never have thought of that.
So eating Cheetos is a bad thing. I've been doing it wrong all this time.
Your books. That's why your table copy of Enra is all orange.
Yeah, that
Now
just
we
adds
learned.
a little bit of extra pizzazz.
Yeah, and, I mean, that's some of the basics that, and then it's your table setup.
Yeah.
You need to have your table, welcoming,
Mhm.
so people, people can easily see them,
Mhm.
and you can reach over stuff so you can talk to them and hand them
Yeah.
things. But I have character bookmarks that are essentially business cards. So I have
Yeah.
the characters on one side and my contact information on the other. And I just said, like, hey, would you like a free bookmark? And that just starts the conversation. And if they pause and look and seem even vaguely interested, then I say, like, hey, let me know. I'll give you the short, let you know what's going on here. Very short pitch. And then if they keep staying and want more, then you build on that.
Yeah.
But it's a very friendly, conversational
Mhm.
kind of thing. I don't dance in front of my table. I don't shout at people.
Oh, man.
Unless they're shouting back at me and it's all in fun and
Yeah,
whatever.
then when you're having fun with it. But yeah, I before I started doing cons, I went to LA Comic-Con, WonderCon, and yours was one of the tables I went to. And the handing of bookmarks is perfect because it's that quick engagement of here's something free, and everybody likes free things. That's what it comes down to. Is
yeah, because I'm
people
going
always
like,
take
hey,
your free stuff.
yeah, it's all like, hey, it's free, it's pretty, and they go like, yeah, it is pretty, and they smile, and it's just a way to engage them in a very friendly and non-threatening, and not I'm trying to sell you things. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm, here I am this nice, friendly person. We can have a
Mhm.
conversation, and if you like the story, great, we can tell you more. I can show you,
Mhm.
or if it's not your thing, they move on, and often they may not be into it, but they
Mhm.
have a friend or a relative who's like, hey, I know my brother really loves this, or my sister,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes they bring them back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is
There
true.
you
I've
go.
heard that a lot. Oh, my dad would love this. My brother would love this. And then, like you say, sometimes they come back like that. You see them dragging someone over, like, here's my dad. Tell him, do that elevator pitch. Tell him what you told
Do
me.
that thing. Tell them about the story.
Yeah, and that sometimes works, and sometimes it's their polite blow off. But either way, you
Yeah.
give everyone the same. So I like that, and I liked how you had the free thing. So for me, it's a free sticker. I have a sticker. I'm like, okay, here's a sticker, and then you don't you wait a moment because, like you say, a lot of people are like, take the sticker and off I go. So yeah, those are good ones, and good shoes. Oh man, that the one con before I was smart enough to know better, I wore my steel-toe Doc Martens to a con.
Ooh.
My feet were so
Mm.
friggin' wrecked at the end of this show. I mean, I got blisters on the bottom of my feet. It was so painful. It's like, oh yeah, I will. I mean, I'm a marathon runner. I have comfortable running shoes at all times available, and I decided to be cool. Like it's an aesthetic. I'm gonna wear my Docs and do this look, and it's like, oh yeah, good move, dummy. Now you can't stand tomorrow, and you probably can't go on your run this weekend because you wrecked your feet. So I learned that
Yeah.
lesson. So
And
comfortable shoes. Don't underestimate
don't forget
that
the
one.
kitchen mat.
Yes.
Don't forget the kitchen mat, because almost all conventions you're standing on cement.
Mhm.
Cement is a negative heat sink, so it sucks the heat from your body.
Mm.
And so you need to be standing on something, and not just shoes. You need something underneath the shoes, and
Yeah.
it helps survive the weekend.
My daughter's pink puzzle mats from when they were young work perfectly because they're cushion. They were to put on the floor if you had hardwood floor or something, so it was soft for the kids. So yes, I stand on pink puzzle mats, and I have no problem because it is so much more comfortable. So you're right. Good tips. And Richard, what do you have? What are some con success tips that you have?
Man, I have no damn clue. There's one show that I used to do all the time was Steel City Con.
Mhm.
It's in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. And there were some of the shows that I would make thousands of dollars, and there's some of the shows that I'd make, 15.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really odd how it works, and like I do like there's a local show, Harper Comics put on a convention I think it's like 3 times a year.
Hmm.
And it's just a small convention. I didn't want to expect it on selling a bunch of stuff. I walked in and ended up selling a $650 original piece of artwork that was signed by
Wow.
all the Hobbits. So I really don't know. But I do agree with the shoes. That is a definite.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, I think we talked about this a little bit ago, making sure you have your own hotspot, your own Wi-Fi.
Yeah. We talked about that one.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good thing. Because there's some of these conventions that get so crowded and get so busy, the Wi-Fi will crash every 5
Mhm.
seconds.
Yeah.
Heck, I was even at a convention before that the whole town was so busy that the cellular network went down.
Mm.
So definitely have to be able to take those cards for the sales.
Yeah, and that's you get that. I was one in Phoenix. It was kind of underground, and the reception was just zero. So, yeah, we had to get kind of this. They had the one you could pay for as an exhibitor, but then there was this secondary one that someone brought in, and I tapped into that. But yeah, you can't mess around with that because, like you said, you have to be able to take those card sales. So
Yeah, 'cause
that's
there's
a
lot of
big
people
one.
There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'll come back later," and then you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't take the card, they're not going to the ATM to pay,
Right.
whatever the fee for the ATM may be when you're going to a con. Like, okay, you want to withdraw $20, it's going to cost you $35. So they're not
Right.
doing that for your book.
Right.
It's not that important. If you can't take that quick tap, because now most of them just straight to their phone. They just tap their phone right onto your square, and there you go. So they're not here to pay overpriced ATM fees. So
Yep.
yeah, make sure you can take their money whatever way they want to pay. And that was something I learned too. Make sure you have Venmo, make sure you have Cash App,
Mhm.
whatever thing they're going to ask you, make sure you have it because you don't want to turn down a sale. That's the worst thing you could do. And I
Yep.
learned all these things you're telling me, I learned the hard way. You're like, oh yes, blistered feet because of Doc Martens. Check. Don't do that. Put a mat there because you're freezing your ass off. Check. Learned that one.
Yep.
So all these things, and then not having a way to pay. I went in like, oh, I got a cash box. I can break $100 bill. Great. They don't have $100 bill. They have a phone that they want to tap. So yeah, another good one. So Mike, any tips from you?
Yeah, I have some good news for probably a large amount of creators who have some crappy retail job. That crappy retail job may already be teaching you some valuable skills. Working in a call center really sucks, but I learned a lot of like sales know-how and handling objections and just soft skills that you need at a convention when you're talking to people. Because these days online, there's a big sentiment of like, oh, I hate talking to human beings and I don't like to, have real-time conversations with people.
Mhm.
But you're going to have to at a convention. So like when, speaking of somebody saying they're going to go away and then they don't come back, an old, like if you're canceling a subscription and you're talking to somebody whose job it is to cancel your subscription, because it's always somebody's specific job to cancel a subscription for a reason. Because those people are the ones who are trained to make you reconsider.
Yeah.
If somebody says they're going to go away and you're worried they might not come back, you offer them a discount. But the discount is only good while they're still talking to you.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you have to say it in a certain way so you don't come across as too mercenary.
Yeah.
But the soft skills will teach you to do these things where you can
Mhm.
kind of do it in a way where you're talking conversationally to them, because you want to
Mhm.
talk to people and have conversations. You don't want to just come right out of the gate and say, here's this thing and this is what it costs. There's a way to slip it into a natural conversation. You're also going to learn common complaints that you can prepare to handle ahead of time, like
Mhm.
bringing like shopping bags that because if people don't have like enough room in their bag, they might want a shopping bag that they can carry away
Yeah.
something in, like cash boxes, and making sure that you have the sensible denominations of everything, because there are people who do want cash.
Yeah.
But card machines as well. But you want to be able to prepare to give yourself leeway to offer discounts. This happened more in the past, but when people used cash more. But there used to be people who would go around to certain conventions and they wouldn't buy anything in the morning because they wanted to look and see what was around before they spent any money, because they wanted to make sure they had enough cash for the rest of the day. For that kind of thing, you can offer a discount that only lasts until like the afternoon or something to kind of create an urgency for them to spend in the morning. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do that you kind of have to learn from experience, and you're never going to learn how to talk to people and understand how to be a salesperson without experience. So having, if you have a retail job or like a call center job or something like that you hate, if you need that job and you don't see a way out, you can at least take solace in the fact that it may be teaching you those skills that could be really useful to you.
Yeah, you can take them into the real world and not hate when you're working at a con. I see miserable people at the cons, the exhibitors that just look like this is the worst thing they've ever done, and I'm thinking, you're here voluntarily. This is not the place. You're here selling books and comic books. You can't be that grumpy about it because no one forced you to buy this table, and you have to look like you actually want to be there, honestly.
Oh yeah. And I forgot something else.
Yeah, get your phone out of your face and engage with the people around you.
And take pictures. I forgot to mention that. Take pictures, because those can go up on your blog and your Kickstarter page, and it makes you look like you're someone who people want to talk to. So
yeah, I'm not good at that. That's there's another one of my weaknesses. Because usually I'm there solo, and I hate taking any photographs of myself. So yes, you're right. I there's things I know I can do better, and that's one of them. But I'm just like, no.
It just so happens that one of my oldest friends is a professional photographer, and he does all of our Kickstarter shoots. He's always great about helping out. So
that helps.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So, Nick, what do you do to succeed there?
Well, I've done a lot of literary festivals, and Madeline mentioned the bookmarks. I do the same thing. I have promotional bookmarks. Anytime someone walks by my booth or is nearby, I kind of try to go hand it, say, hey, would you like a free bookmark? Sometimes people will take it. Sometimes people will not say anything. Sometimes people will say no thanks. What's funny that I've noticed is that people will be walking away from my booth. They'll look at the bookmark, and then they'll say, oh, this looks interesting, Massacre at the Comic Shop. And they'll turn around, and then I'll give them the spiel. This is about a comic shop owner, his friends, regular customers, and a Max Saxa fan killing them off with a chainsaw. Which, by the way, I just repeat the same elevator pitch over and over again, which I can understand why exhibitors might, or anyone might get exhausted doing that. You sort of feel like a robot. But it's that's a big part of what I do is I get people to my booth with the bookmark. If you're, I don't know if there's necessarily different shows that might have more rules or whatever where that could be viewed as kind of bothering people. I do know that I don't do this, but shouts out to the Unshaven Comics guys. They're a publisher in the Chicago area. They have a little sign that says, handwritten sign that says, ask me about my comic, and they just hold it up, and people they don't, for whatever reason, you don't really see a lot of people doing that, so it's intriguing. There's a little drawing, a little sign, and they stop by the booth and do that, and they're successful that way. That's not me, but I've noticed them do that.
Works for them.
Yeah.
I'm picturing the Ask Me About Loom guy from The Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
I think that might be a reference that's lost on a few people.
Yeah, well, the key is to find a selling style that is sincere to you and your personality, and it's not forced, because people can tell when it's forced. So you just have to find what comes naturally for you, and that's it.
Yeah, there's no one size fits all. It
No.
comes down to that. The only size that doesn't fit is the person who sits with their cell phone in front of their face. And like, if someone comes to their table, they feel they look like they're irritated. Like, dude, I was in the middle of playing some Angry Birds. Leave me alone. And that's not that is the only one size that always fails. But otherwise, like Madeline's saying, you have to find what's great for you, and everyone's going to be different. So what about you, Aaron? What are some tricks you have? I know you're kind of newer, because Nashville, when I met you, that was your first con. So what tricks have you learned in the process?
I think everyone's kind of touched based on it. Interacting, engagement. One of the other cons I went to, there was a guy selling pro novels. He had like 4 or 5 on his table, and he was reading a book behind his table. And like I was watching him, and like maybe 1 or 2 people came over to have a chat, and it was like he still had the book open as he was talking to him.
Oh no!
So he didn't miss his page.
Not gonna lose my spot, jerks. Leave me alone.
So it was like, okay, I mean, at least I'm doing something right. It seemed to me. But that was a bit of an eye opener. So yeah, interacting, engagement, looking like you want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, every con I've noticed, you have like a lull, and it's kind of like slow going.
Oh yeah.
Maybe get your phone out to check your messages and stuff, but always kind of be more aware of around you. Like if someone's like checking out your stand, you know, you want to be quick to engage with them, otherwise they're vanished to the next one.
Yeah, they're moving, and even when it's super crowded, that's when you have it's more moving like a cattle herd. And if you see a hesitation by your booth, that's when you quickly engage before they get swept in the sea of humanity that just pushes them away. So I mean, you always have to be watching what's going on. If I look at my phone, it's very brief, because I also have to think, if this phone dies, I've lost a huge amount of sales I could get. And I guess your guy with the book, he's the old school version of disengaging with, with a different way, just not on his cell phone. He's like, no, I'm old school. I disengage with books, damn it. So, I think everyone's kind of touched on what I would have said too. And that's, for me, I have pretty bad social anxiety at times. So I kind of treat it like acting. I have a pitch that I can give. It's always the same one, kind of like what Nick was saying, but I also have it where I can pitch everything on my table in under a minute. So I say, okay, here, would you like a sticker? And if you have a moment, would you like to hear my elevator pitch? I guarantee you I can pitch you everything on the table in less than a minute. And then they're kind of intrigued, like less than a minute. And I said, and here's my promise to you. If I go a second over 1 minute, I'll give you a book for free. So you get a kind of a hook like that, and I pitch every single book and send them on their way. And I have an elevator pitch that I've worked on it. Like I built it when I was going on runs. That's where I do a lot of my thinking, and I just got it quicker and quicker and quicker, and sat there with a stopwatch to make sure that it was truly under a minute, because I don't want to be giving away a bunch of free books. And you have enough hooks where I'll hear people as they're walking away kind of talking about my pitch, and then they'll tell someone else, oh, you got to hear that guy's pitch. It's really cool, because you have those couple hooks in there that get people talking. And that's what works for me, because even with the social anxiety, I think, okay, I'm an actor. I'm gonna say my lines, and then it's when they start talking to you in the middle, you're like, dang, sorry, I got to get my thoughts back, because it's so rehearsed. But you need to be engaging. And I think for me, it helps that I've been a teacher for a lot of years, so I'm used to talking loud and being able to talk over whatever the noise is, because you can get placed next to noise. I've been placed next to bands, been placed next to an obnoxious Funko booths. So you got to be able to talk loud. So I'm like, all right, I got my classroom voice out, and then marathoning helps it. So as long as you wear good shoes, I can stand on my feet all day, because it's like, all right, I've run a 48-mile race. I can handle standing for a few days if I'm in my running shoes. And now I only wear my running shoes after I've learned the blister lesson. All right. So those are some good tips.
Actually, can I say one more thing before we
go
move
for
on?
it.
Yeah, I mentioned that I typically do literary festivals, and I have 4 books, and I have prints of the cover artwork, which is obviously very common in the comic book world, but oddly, well, not oddly, it's not as common in the world of prose, and a lot of people stop by my booth specifically because they see all the artwork there at a literary festival. And I wonder how much I've talked to comic book creators who are successful at those kind of festivals. Talk some of them who aren't, but I do just want to mention that honestly, just that standing out has worked for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that helps. And I have graded copies of my books, and that stands out in the small press or artist alley area because it gets a different set of eyes on your book. And I call them the prospectors. They think, ooh, I'm going to buy this book because what if it gets adapted to Netflix and I can cash in and make all the money? And when they come to the table, I know because they're not looking at the book. They're going straight to the CGCs and they're looking for number ones. And then I start telling you, oh, the print count on this one is really low and it's blah and blah. And you appeal to the collector brain. So it's just, as Madeline was saying, having an appealing table, but also a diversity that's going to bring different sets of eyes. And the CGCs that are out on my table are a whole different set of eyes than the floppies that are sitting there or the graphic novels. And I also have, being in a couple of the Cthulhu anthologies, I have a little plushy Cthulhu that's there, and they see that they're like, "Oh, what's this? That I love Cthulhu, and what's it all about?" And you have that, kind of instantly selling itself because they see the little plushie, and that draws them to your table. So you just want your table to be a magnet for different kinds of people that are going to walk through a con.
Do you guys have a lot of extra merchandise on top of your books then?
Not much.
Oh yeah, I've got prints, sketch cards, shirts, a bunch of stuff.
I just started with shirts actually for the first time, and because everyone, they see me wearing a shirt, they're like, "Ooh, we want one." And now that I've had them, I haven't sold any, but I guess everything is eyes on the table. And I do have, for my Finish Line logo, it's a running themed logo, and I have it in tech material so you can actually run races in it. And I've found runners like that. They don't buy the book, but they want the shirt. They're like, "Oh, that'll be so cool when I run my next marathon." So I try to have merch, but then you also have, sometimes your table's really small and you get one of those 6-footers and you have to condense what you can bring. But I have pins, like little character pins, and those, your pin collectors, you see someone with a whole, like a vest full of pins, and you're like, "Come on over, check out these pins," because you know that's going to appeal to them. They may not buy the book, but they need, a cool looking pin of a character they've never heard of.
The thing about merchandise is you can use it for price anchoring, which is a sales tactic. If you don't know what it is, it's kind of a way there where you offer something that is, if you want to have like a median spend by your customers, you will pick something on the cheaper end, and then you will pick something on the more expensive end, and the median of that is the average spend that you're hoping to get. So what you can do is you can deliberately get stock something that is that's more expensive than the average customer you would expect them to buy. But all that does is in the mind, it basically, people will tend to not want to buy the cheapest thing because they are there to, enjoy the con and everything, or they don't like to think of themselves as cheap, but they also like to be frugal. So they'll tend to, average it out and go for the medium price. So if you can mathematically work out what the median average of your prices is, and then you can figure out, okay, I need to, I would like to try and aim for this much money for my customer's average spend. So I will set my, if you do a spread of your prices and then figure out the median, you can work it out mathematically. And that works for Kickstarters too.
Okay.
You look at your goal and then you go, well, my previous campaigns have had this many backers, or I don't know, I expect to get this many backers because of such and such data. Therefore, if I take my goal and divide by the number of backers I expect, I will find the average pledge I need to hit. So therefore, my median price range must be at least this much for me to hit that goal with that price range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Better than my scenario, which is just hope and pray.
Hey, I also follow that philosophy. Yeah, I like that you think things out, and I mean I do look at bottom lines and things like that, and I look at, okay, what can I throw in for free? Like, hey, if you buy all 10 issues or all 11 issues, then I'll give you a free character pin and stuff like that. So the merch to grab them. But yeah, let's move to our next topic. And this one, what is the first album you bought? So we're talking, maybe you bought a CD, maybe you bought it on vinyl. I know some of us are older in this room, so vinyl or cassette, but what was the first one that you ever bought knowingly? Like, I mean, I'm sure you got ones for as a kid and things like that, but what's one that you bought on purpose? So Richard, what was the first album that you ever bought?
It was cassette.
Mm-hmm.
It was Quiet Riot. I believe it Mental Health.
Mental Health. Metal Health. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
With him and the mask on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah, my dad had that one, and I borrowed it from him and played it in the room because that was in the 80s. That was the jam right there.
Yep, that was my first album or cassette, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, cassette. So very cool. So, Mike, what was your first one you ever bought?
I think, if I remember correctly, it was Sum 41's All Killer No Filler.
Oh,
on
nice.
CD.
Nice. Yeah, I think I had that one on CD as well. It was kind of the buying albums, then moving into CDs, and for a while vinyl died and then made its comeback. But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I have that on CD somewhere. My daughter's now tearing through my CD collection and super excited, like, oh my gosh, Dad, you knew this band, and you knew this band, and you knew this band. So my music has cycled back to being cool to a 19-year-old.
Isn't that weird how that happens?
Yeah, it's like for a minute, like, all right, I'm listening to all this stuff. You're like, Dad, you've heard of Nine Inch Nails, right? I'm like, all right, come on over. Let's talk some Nine Inch Nails. So yeah, it's funny. It's like the cycle has come back, and all the 90s stuff is cool, and she's digging through my CDs and like, can I borrow this? Can I borrow this? It's like, you may borrow them all, because at this point I don't even have a CD player, but I've since bought them all on vinyl. So like, you can tear through the CDs and enjoy yourself. So Nick, what was your first CD or tape or album that you bought?
Well, the first album I bought was a cassette tape in the late 90s, which was the self-titled Third Eye Blind album.
Okay.
And then after that, I just bought CDs. I think it was the only cassette I actually bought, but I was in middle school with my allowance.
Yeah.
And it's still a great album. I think that there's some music that I liked back then that I listen to now, and it's like I understand why I liked it as a kid. But no, I'm actually proud to say that was the first album I bought.
Cool. All right. So what about you, Madeline? What's the first one you ever bought?
I don't remember. I just, and even if I did, it would so date me that no.
Well, I think mine will date me, but I guess for me as a music person, I can remember the first album I ever bought, and I can probably remember the sequence of the next 10, and the first comic I ever bought, I can remember those. So I'm also like, my brain won't forget things like that. But what about you, Aaron? What's the first one you ever bought?
Probably not many people have known this. Blur, the British.
I know
band.
Blur, who became Damon ended up going into the Gorillaz.
Yeah, they were, I think, my first one. Them and Oasis. I liked them.
They were feuding back in the day. I love reading about those feuds.
Yeah.
They're
I think I still have
funny.
it. I think it's in the storage in Scotland at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I know the Gallagher brothers. They're assholes, but they can throw shade. They are with the best of them. I love reading when they just start insulting people. It's nothing funny.
It's the best when they insult each other.
Yeah,
because they're brothers. I think
they hate each other more than they hate anybody else in the world.
Yeah.
So when the Gallagher brothers just start like ripping on each other through Twitter, oh man, it's pure entertainment. You just sit back and it's like that Michael Jackson meme with him and the popcorn. It's like, I'm just here to read these guys beef, and it's the best. but they also hated Damon from Blur, so it's like they would rip him as well. And it was the battle
Yeah.
of who could sell the most copies, and they'd release singles and try to like, oh, we're gonna beat Blur or we're gonna beat Oasis. And oh man, I listened to a whole like 4-hour podcast just about that beef, and it is beautiful. It's so entertaining. They come off as so douchey, but so hilarious to listen to. So yeah, for me, I remember mine. It was a cassette as well, and it was the Motley Crue, the Shout at the Devil. And
Good one.
I remember thinking I was so friggin' edgy to have that album. Like I bought this album and I thought this was gonna be the coolest thing. I'm gonna be the edgiest kid because I got Ozzy Osbourne buttons and I got a Shout at the Devil thing. And I thought that they were so scary. Now I look at that cover, I'm like, dude, they were just makeup and Aquanet. There's nothing scary about that cover. But at the time, I thought that, I didn't understand what any of the songs mean because they are all just full of innuendos left and right. But as a kid, I took them all on the surface level. Like, oh, looks like Kill. She's a murderer. This is edgy. I'm the scariest kid in the elementary school. So yeah, that was mine. And I thought I was edgy because I had Ozzy Osbourne buttons and Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue on cassette. So yeah, that was mine. I realized
just like
now
the
it was
idea-
not edgy at all.
Have you mistaking like Motley Crue's songs for being like all about Medusa or something?
Yeah. Oh, it really was. I mean, I have a way over active imagination as it is. I mean, still now, but as a kid, it was the same thing. And I would be putting my theories about these songs. And it's like, no, it's just, they're pretty much, if it's Motley Crue, they're all about sex. That is a guarantee. But as a kid, I'm like, oh, it's edgy. And they're talking about, yeah, like you said, like a Medusa, if she stares at you, you'll die. And yeah, it's all wrong, but I still enjoyed the theories as a child, and that's why I like that Hotel California. I thought it was like the Shining Hotel. Like, oh, you're gonna go there and you're gonna become a ghost and you're gonna become trapped. And yeah, my brain when I was listening to that song, because I stayed up late one night and watched The Shining and scarred myself.
Oh,
And I
no.
thought, oh, Hotel California. It's like the California version of the Overlook Hotel, and it's a haunted hotel. And it's like, all right, kid, turn that brain off. Because yeah, my dad would be like, you got to stop it. You overanalyze everything, and it's not right. It's about drugs.
I don't know.
Move on.
I think I prefer that album, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So yes, it ends up being better in my head, and I've always created dumb, weird theories, but that was one of them. And yeah, Motley Crue, that whole album was edgy and dark, and yeah, in the end, it wasn't. It was about them hooking up and teasing up their hair with the Aquanet. So yeah, that was my first purchase. And it's funny, this topic came up because I was talking to my wife about it, and I was telling her, like, I thought I was the edgiest kid in existence by owning that album and having a Blizzard of Oz button on my jacket. So I was like, yeah, he's in werewolf form. This is so dark. So yes, but I was 9, so forgive me for being insane at 9 years old. All right, so we have moved into our final segment, and that is promotion. And we have some campaigns, we have some websites. So Nick, did you put your campaign into the private chat?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, drop that in there, please. And then I will go with whatever one happens to be up first in my squinty portion of the show, where I got to use my bad eyesight to do all this. All right, so we're going to start with Pillars of Creation.
Nope.
So let me pull that up. Just give me a second. All right, so tell us about Pillars of Creation.
This is my science fiction horror. It follows the crew of the Icarus. It's a planetary survey team that go to barren, lifeless planets for basically mining rights. So they survey the planet and then they come in and crack it for all it's worth.
Okay.
But as they're traveling back home, they're woken early because another team has gone missing. And so they're tasked to go find out what happened. And the company wants them to complete the survey because they're after the bottom line. So it follows them, and as usual with science fiction horror, when they land on the planet, all shit starts happening. So
Nothing goes well. It never
nothing
does.
goes well.
It
But
wouldn't
kind of
be fun if it all went right.
Yeah, it'd be kind of boring, but I suppose it'd be a happy ending.
Yeah. If you're going
this
for
is
the
kind of
happy
a
ending, you could go with that.
yeah,
But yeah,
an
space-
Alien Event Horizon kind of vibe. That's the
Cool. And this
master.
one's on late pledges, right?
yes, yeah, late
Okay.
pledges
So you
still
can grab
available.
it with late pledges. I think I backed this one when it was in its regular form. So we'll go to your next one because this one's late pledges, and I'll put the links to all these in the chat. And then after the show on my Facebook, I'll put a link to the YouTube video as well as all of your campaigns so people can find them because it's easier to click on a proper link. And then I also put them in the comments of the YouTube video. So let me get the next one up.
I did successfully put it in the private chat, right? Just make
Perfect.
sure
So
that,
I
yeah,
will
good.
I'll
Oh,
get
good.
that up there.
Just making
and then-
sure.
Yeah. I'm multitasking. I'm making sure I can see everything. So my brain multitasking I should be better at it, but here we go. All right. So we'll talk about Inenra next, and that one is live right now. So
Indeed.
tell us about Inenra.
Enenra is a apocalyptic horror. It's both pre and post. So the start of each issue gives a glimpse into the future, follows survivors in a very terrifying new world. And then the main body of each issue follows how we get there. So it follows a group of doctors as they're struggling to understand and stop a deadly virus from spreading across the globe. The first 4 issues are based in like London, Heathrow, where the plane lands and it's full of infected. And then as the story progresses, we kind of track where the flight came from and who patient 0 is and how he became infected. So instead of killing people outright, it mutates them into creatures.
Okay. And then for this one, how many issues is it going to be altogether?
16 in total. So this is the
Okay.
halfway point.
Awesome. So this is issue
8.
8? 8. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. So it is on right now. Let me get the link and put it in.
Yeah, I got a lot
chat.
of new add-ons I'm trying out. So paint by numbers, puzzles. You can get a customized hip flask with your image on it as either you can have infected, survived, or missing on the back with your name on it. So yeah, a lot of different merchandise I'm trying out.
Is that a sticker or is it screen printed or?
It's laser etched.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah,
Very
I've got myself a etcher, so
so
I'm
you
trying
do
it out.
it yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing it myself. Yeah,
Very
There's
cool.
a little video of it actually doing the etching on the hip flask. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Sounds
I
good.
have to find ways to pay it off because
Yeah.
it's not cheap.
Oh, I'm sure. All right. So that the link is in the chat. And then also I just saw we had someone ask us in the chat, who's better, Blur or Oasis? So I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
Ooh, I kind of do have a lot more Oasis songs than I do have Blur. So probably Oasis.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I agree with you. As much as the Gallagher brothers are hard to stomach, they wrote some good songs. I mean, granted, they have
they're
a few
complete
albums that are
dicks. There's no
pretty awful. Yeah, they're awful.
Yeah, totally. But they do good songs.
Yes. All right. Sorry. There's my doorbell. So my doorbell is the dog. But that's okay. My wife can get it. All right. So, yeah. So the Blur Oasis, I would have to say Oasis, but I'll go Gorillaz above both of them. So
Yes.
I like what Gorillaz have done since. So Damon wins the battle, but as Gorillaz, that's where I'll go. It's like Blur versus Oasis. I give it Team Oasis, and then all of them together, I give that one to Gorillaz.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
So let me get that. Then that is in the chat for Inra. I'll get the other campaign as well, but we get faces covered. So let's take a look. Let me get this one out of there. And I believe it is Boston Metaphysical Society next on my army of tabs. All right. So let me get that up. And Madeline, tell us about Boston Metaphysical Society.
Well, for anyone who's not familiar with the series, the overall premise is about an ex-Pinkerton detective, a spirit photographer, and a genius scientist who battles supernatural forces in late 1800s Boston. This Kickstarter is to print a hardback, softback special edition of Volume 3, which includes our latest series, Mystery at Pikes Peak, all of our variant covers, as well as a brand new story called The Wraith of Mechanics Hall, with art by Roberta in Granada. And as you pass by, we have some very cool, those are all what will be metal bookmarks.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that will be a copper metal bookmark designed by Alejandro Lee. And we just did an add-on where you can get a set in brass, copper, or stainless steel.
Okay.
And these are really nice. I've made these before. You've probably seen the dirigible and some of the other ones on my table, Ed.
Yes.
They're really beautiful. And they have a nice heft to them. I've also done lapel pins in the past, which are available in the add-ons here. Boston Metaphysical lapel pins. That's the first page of Wraith the Mechanics Hall.
And that's the bonus story in there?
Bonus story. Yeah, all of my trades include an exclusive bonus story to that trade.
Okay. And then how many issues are put into each trade?
This one has 4.
Okay.
But they average over 26. They average about 26, 27 pages per issue.
Okay.
So looks like this will be a 144-page book.
Okay.
And the previous hardbacks turned out beautifully. So
yeah, I think I have volume 2.
Yeah,
so
probably.
I gotta check. I probably have volume 1, but I also have a lot of books that are just kind of in a long box. So I gotta go through those.
I think we all do. We all have the files and the boxes and and everything. But yeah, you can get it as a digital, in softback, hardback. We also have what I call my starter kit for people who are brand new to the series and just want to get a taste, where you can get a softback of Volume 1 and the prequel novel, A Storm of Secrets. And there is also an audio drama, which you can get as a download flash drive or a CD if you still own a CD player.
Yes.
For those of you who are audiophiles, the CD is also really nice because you get WAV files and the sound is just better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not MP3s.
Yeah. The download and the flash drive are MP3s, and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
But if you get the WAV, they're uncompressed, so
correct.
That is the best way for the audio files, which is I'm one of those. And then you can also, have you ever thought of doing the FLAC files? I know a lot of people don't know, but that's for the super audio files.
Yeah, we actually discussed that when we produced the CD and decided not to because the file's just too huge.
They're huge, and a lot of people wouldn't even know how to convert them to something listenable.
Yeah, it was too complicated, so we just
Yeah, when you're talking audio files, that I was thinking, but FLAC just takes up so much space. They're giant files, but that's the most that is the most pure, because then it could be in like 48, like the same sound quality as a Blu-ray or something like that, although Blu-rays are kind of dying and people don't collect physical media. So I think the 3 audio files out there aren't going to care that much. They'll take the wave. Yeah.
But also in some of the upper tiers, you also get copies of my other series. We have the first 2 issues out for Morgana Pendragon. But Yeah, but you can also mix and match in the add-ons,
Okay.
which is always fun.
Yeah, I got to figure out which one. If I know I have volume 1 because when I was looking at your beginning tier, I know I recognize that cover, and then I got to see if I have 2 because I can throw that into the add-ons because I got to get myself all caught up. And then here's another. Are these metal bookmarks as well?
Yeah, those are metal bookmarks as well. In Mystery at Pikes Peak, the team goes to Tesla's experimental station in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And so this is kind of an homage to the experimental station.
Nice.
You get that as a set. And this is kind of an homage to our original Boston Metaphysical logo, which used to be a steampunk owl.
Then you can get, is this the audio drama?
That's the download. Yeah, that's the download.
Okay. So the ghost ship. And then you have some coins.
Actually, those are lapel pins.
Lapel pins. Thank you.
Yeah,
all right.
Those are all lapel pins.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you're talking about those. And then the flash drive, does that have the volume on it?
Well, the flash drive has the entire Ghost Ship audio drama on it.
Oh, the audio drama. Okay.
Yeah, that's the audio drama, which is a little over 4 hours long. It's 8 episodes.
Okay.
And yeah, the flash drive and the CD also include commentary. The download does not.
Okay. The download's the one that would be the MP3, or is that one in Wave?
Yeah, the MP3 is the download and the flash drive.
Okay.
The CD is WAV files.
Got it. All right. So let me get the link for that one and throw it in there. Anything else you want to talk about in the campaign?
We've made 4 stretch goals. So everyone who pledges to the campaign gets an additional 12 digital comics from various indie creators. The hardback version now comes with a satin bookmark ribbon and will be foil embossed. And so we're like $100 away from our next stretch goal, which is adding pin-up art by the fabulous Pablo Pepino. And if you have not seen his work before, he did Skies of Fire with Ray Chow, and most recently Lamp Black with Camille Longley. And I highly recommend Lamp Black. It has a very manga. Yeah, that's his pinup.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's very
great.
Studio Ghibli. I've got it. I've got all 5 on my shelf.
Oh yeah, Lamp Black. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's. I think Camille is underrated. I think she's very good. She's a very good writer, and it's really, the story is about in essence about the weaponization of creativity, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
So that's my plug for Pablo and Camille.
Yes. Yeah, that looks great. And the link is in the chat, so just grab that. And then let's see, what is next?
What is next?
Right. Let's see here. It looks like Ted's Dead. All right. So let me get that up. All right. So tell us about Ted's Dead.
Ted's Dead is a rocker zombie that hates his own race, hates other zombies. So he constantly just travels the earth and tries to find ways to eliminate as many of them as possible. That's what he likes to call Z-bags. It's a horror comedy, pretty much.
And you said you did all the artwork yourself for this one.
Yeah, I did the writing, the inking, penciling, everything.
Gotta love that. Let me get that link up for us.
And actually, I'll go ahead and
then I think you had.
That's what he likes to call Z-bag.
Get that link up for us.
Actually, I'll go ahead and
Then I think you had.
that's what he likes to call Z-bag.
Get that link up for us.
Actually, where am I getting the echo?
I don't know. We're getting it somewhere.
Yeah, there's an echo somewhere.
It's hearing this like 5 times.
Wait, was it from my phone
Yep.
or?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was from you.
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
We,
I thought
we
maybe-
that was our little cave portion of the show, hanging
I thought
out,
maybe the drugs would
listening
kick
to
back
some
in.
cave echoes. All right, so then you had one other one. I'll pull that one up. The Ohio is for serial killers.
Yep. Now, what these are short stories that I'm doing, and I'm actually releasing Ashcan for each short story. And then once I get the Ashcans released, the horror anthology that's going to be called Stories from the Dead is going to be released in October 31st.
Mhm.
I'm hoping to get other artists on board as well, because I really don't want to be doing all these short stories myself.
Yeah.
But this one, Ohio is for serial killers. It's actually about, in Ohio, we have kind of a running joke that a lot of the serial killers come from Ohio. And the reason why is because the weather is, bipolar. It could be raining right now or sunny or snowing 5 minutes later.
Mm.
So this is going to actually be showcasing some true and some fictional stories put together.
I've heard that most of the astronauts that have ever existed, at least in America, have been from Ohio as well. Actually,
Yeah, a couple of them, yeah.
They're serial killers too. They just haven't been caught yet.
Serial killers on a different planet.
well, nobody can convict you if you do it on the moon. No laws there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go, Aaron. There's your next sci-fi horror story.
I'm writing it right now.
The moon is for serial killers.
But yeah, this is another one of the ash cans that's going to be released, and this is what the ash cans kind of look like.
I can showcase you.
So I'm doing it the old school way, old school 90s way, colored construction paper, stapling myself.
Okay, so this is all DIY.
This is all DIY. And they're the same size as other ash cans.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically
Yeah, I
what it
like
is.
that.
And in the ash cans, there's going to be a 4-page preview of the 7 to 8-page story that's going to be in Stories from the Dead.
Very cool.
So in here, I also show my process and explain all that as well.
Nice.
There is a soundtrack, and obviously I put my ads in here for the merch and
Yeah.
all that. So
Very cool.
yep, doing it the old school way. I always loved the way they used to do that in the 90s, where you go to cons and you get a free ash can handed to you. And
Yeah. Kind of like that, or like the old punk scene where you'd get a zine handed to you at the
Yep.
outside.
Well, actually,
you gotta love that.
I think I talked to you last time I was on your show about when I lived up on High State campus.
Hmm.
A guy that had kind of like a gangster tone to his voice
Yeah.
walked up to me and was like, "Hey man, why don't you come check out my band tonight? We're little brothers," and handed me a CD. And it ended up being Papa Roach before they were
Oh,
even
how
signed.
funny.
So
But when they were just little.
yeah. So I mean that's still to me like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Is just have somebody hand something to you and you discovered something new.
Yeah. That's what it used to be. You'd get out of the shows and they'd hand you, the demo CDs, the zines. It's like that.
Yep.
That for me, I guess it would have been the mid 90s, like probably like 94-ish. Once I had a car and I was hitting every punk and ska show in California, and that you'd walk out and you would have a nice little stack of cassettes and CDs. And I think like I got an early Beck demo tape handed to me at one of those ones. So I still have them, again, box in the garage, like the same thing of my long box of comic books. But
Yeah, it's gonna be a
yeah,
treasure
I
hunt at
didn't
your
get rid
house.
of I didn't get rid of anything. That's why I told the kids, like, don't just take it to Goodwill. Like, sift through it, make
Yeah.
money if you can, because I'm weird and keep all this stuff. But yeah, I remember just it would be so cool. You'd leave and you get handed the stuff, and eventually I joined Street Team so I could go to concerts for free. And it was, I was the one handing out the CDs and cassettes and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of like go out. It was like trick or treating. Like, all right, there's a big line of street teamers handing you a bunch of free stuff. So
Well, that's
Yes.
that's what I used to do. I mean, I worked with a lot of bands in the past because I'm a graphic designer by trade
mhm.
for the past 20 years. And I mean, I've worked with national bands, local bands, and that's basically what I did. I just created their merchandise and the marketing.
Very cool. All right. So let me get up our next one, and that is Zip. So, Mike, 1 second. Let me get yours up. Here we go. There. All right. So tell us
Okay.
about Zip.
Yeah. So Zip is a comic about imperfect superhumans. Or is it? Because there is an outside chance it is secretly about disability. So, you can see there Gail Simone giving us her endorsement for
Very cool.
our talented artist Sana Spina and his artwork. So yeah, I wrote this comic based on my real life experiences with disability as a visually impaired comics writer. The whole thing is about how the delicate balance of the human body can be kind of very much tipped by superpowers, and so they can come with a lot of side effects that you don't expect. Our main character is a speedster, but because she has very fast reaction times, the technical term is mental chronometry, she experiences the world in kind of slow motion. So every conversation she ever has, the people she's talking to sound like this, which can be very frustrating whenever she's trying to, socialize. She has to slow herself down as well in order to be understood, because on the other hand, she does everything fast. Her circadian rhythms are much faster, so she sleeps twice as often but for half as long. So she gets into a lot of trouble like nodding off in the middle of her shift, because to her an 8-hour workday is a long time. And she's always eating because she needs to keep her energy up, because her body just burns so many calories so fast. It's all about kind of the way that a body being different can cause a lot of things that problems, even if you might consider superhumans to be kind of superior. Just that being different is what causes the issues, and a society that wasn't built for those differences causes a lot of those issues. So this 5th issue is all about kind of fears and insecurities, because it takes place, Zip is going on a date in a fun fair, or as Americans would call it, a carnival. Unfortunately, a cryptid has gotten loose in this carnival, a little scuttly thing whose natural defenses allow it to kind of create hallucinations in the people around it. And these are like fearful hallucinations. So all these people are suddenly, in this carnival, and then suddenly they're hit with all these visions of their worst fears. They're running around in panic, but the rides are still running and they're not being attended. So everyone's running around from these, visceral horrors, but also they're running into real harm's way, where they're running in the path of these rides that are still whizzing around. And Zip has to try and get herself together to save them and herself. So this is the 5th issue of the comic. It's the finale of our first collected trade paperback. So if you want to get every comic that we've published so far, our first trade paperback will be available through our publisher Marcosia. But you'll also be able to get single issues. So if you've backed us before, you'll be able to pick up issue 5. Or if you've never backed us before and you just want to pick up issue 1, we'll have a special reward tier where you can get issue 1 for a good deal price. And also because many Kickstarter users are from the USA, especially in recognition of the costs of international postage. Any backers that are outside of the European Union will receive a free poster if they pledge for a reward with physical items. So if you're getting something with a physical item, you get a free poster in recognition of that large international postage cost.
Yes, and this will have a trade available as well as the floppy.
Yes, with that you can get 1 to 5 in floppies. those are kind of self-published by us because our publisher Marcosia only does single issues in digital format, but they do graphic novels. And
Okay.
because this 5th issue closes out the first volume, they'll all be collected into a graphic novel collection, trade paperback collection, collecting all of our stories so far. So if
Very
you want
cool.
to read the whole comic, every issue we've done, you will be able to do so.
Nice. All right. So the link is in the chat. And as I said, I'll put them all in there after the show as well. So you can do that. And then, Nick, let me get yours up.
Mhm.
And then I will, let's see here. Then I'll put mine up for just a minute. And then yours is, let's see. Is it Truth Before Comfort?
Yes. Yeah. It's, I have the Kickstarter for my upcoming book, Truth Before Comfort, Confessions of a Comic Book Journalist. It has cover artwork by Jorge Santiago Jr., who also drew the cover artwork for my books of poetry, and was the artist on Spencer and Locke, which was an Action Lab comic from about 10 years ago. And but my book also has a foreword by Phil Falco, the Lifeline Comics co-owner, and it's a collection of essays, news pieces, and interviews with comic book creators and authors as well. And it has the underlying through line of this idea of truth for comfort, where oftentimes media criticism and comic book journalism is bogged down by clickbait headlines, brand promotion, and blind nostalgia. And I aim to cut through that noise. I aim to bring you truth before comfort. And it republishes a lot of my Substack pieces, because I launched my Substack after getting let go by CBR. However, it has an afterword that I wrote, and a preface and a foreword by Phil Falco, and it'll have an index.
Sorry.
And also, I have, even if you're familiar with the
Sorry,
pieces.
one sec.
Oops, yeah.
I messed up here.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Madeline, it's all you. So let me get, I have no.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Do one of those dances you were talking about.
Wait, are we still live? Wait, what's going on?
I hear you guys.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't
what's
see
going on.
anybody.
All right.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, sorry. Let me.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's-
there's a
Yes,
better-
we're all back.
Dang, I got kicked
That's
out of the
better.
show already.
My mistake.
I was
There
worried
we
about
go.
that too.
Everybody's back. I don't know what happened. I do apologize. This is because on my end everybody looks blue, so I was trying to fix it, and then I made Madeline the star. So, Nick,
Should I start
once
talking
again,
or
yeah,
wait
go
till
for
it's
it.
on the screen?
Yeah, I'll get it back on the screen. But yes, I do apologize.
Oh, I don't hear you.
You don't? Do you hear us?
I
Yeah,
hear
I do
Nick.
know. Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I hear you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, should I start talking again?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah, that's a photo of me because I've organized and moderated panels at C2E2, and I do write about my experiences moderating panels in the book, which is not on my Substack. As I was saying, that even if you're familiar with my essays, reviews, and interviews from Substack, there's new material where I tie it all together. And I also have add-ons available where you can order my books of poetry, Diesel Doctrine, Temporarily Embarrassed Millionaires, which is also a novel. I actually don't have a picture right there. You have to kind of look through the actual add-ons, but I have this available, which was these are prints from Kristen Palmer, who drew this illustration for my book of poetry, As the Moonlight Shines. I have postcards available of the cover artwork, and Massacre at the Comic Shop, which is a horror novel that I wrote. It has a foreword by Tim Seeley, who also did a pull quote for this book. And basically, Truth Before Comfort, Confessions of a Comic Book Journalist has essays about Superman, Reggie Mantle from Archie Comics, reporting about C2E2, and in an interview with Mike Norton, and it's even. I think that if you're immersed in the comic world, you'll find it interesting. You'll definitely learn things and have some hot takes. But then also people who are not can kind of step into this world and become familiar with it afterwards. I am an actual newspaper journalist. That's my main job, and and that background is definitely reflected in this book. Even though it's not just journalism, it's also reviewing comic books.
Cool. All right. So the link is.
I don't hear you at all. I don't hear the host.
Let me see. Am I muted?
I can hear.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just on his. Okay, good. So, this one is available right now.
I hear everyone else.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. It looks like you were talking.
Yep. All right. So technical difficulties. Apologies. Probably my fault from when I clicked the wrong button and moved Madeline to the whole front. But I'm going to just briefly go over mine, and then we will wrap things up.
Yeah, Nick, he's going to wrap things up.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Madeline. You can can
Get out the Ouija board.
Man.
Should I? Is there anything else I should say, or is there a question, or? I don't hear.
Tell him we're just.
He's just going to do his book, and then we'll probably wrap up.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So this happened one other time when I had a band on that I was interviewing on my music show, and he could only hear me and not my co-host, so I had to do the same thing. It was something with his headphones, but I will make this quick. This is Immortal Era number 12. It's part of my ongoing series, so it's going to have Immortal Era as it's going to have issue 12, and kind of like Mike's, you can also get a trade if you choose to do that. And this one wraps up the second story arc and puts us at our halfway point. So the basic premise of Immortal Era, it's a world set in the future where everyone has gained immortality, but not with powers or abilities. So they age, they get sick, and it follows our group of heroes who are trying to find a way to restore death and save humanity by killing them. And I'll put the link in there. It is still in pre-launch. We're going to launch later this month. Once I have confirmation that all the colors are complete, we will launch the book, and you can grab it there. So now with that said, I always make mine the most brief because they'll hear about it week after week once it goes live. But for now, let's go ahead and let everybody know where we can find you. So Madeline, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook, Madeline Holly Rosing, Boston Metaphysical, or Queen of Mercia, which is my overall company name. Also, obviously, I'm on Kickstarter right now, and just type in Boston Metaphysical. It's going to come right up. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. Just type in the name, it'll show up.
Yes, they're all there, easy to find, which is nice. And then what's your most active one? Which one do you use the most?
Probably Facebook and Blue Sky now, with Instagram a close second. I mean, the problem with Instagram is obviously you can't put links in the post, and people have to go to the profile. So
and they're less likely to do those multiple clicks. So
correct.
So check it out. And then Richard, where can we find you?
You can find me at rlj3.com. That's my main website for my graphic design and illustration and everything. And on all the socials, it's rlj3art.
Perfect.
That's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the above.
Okay, perfect. And what about you, Mike? Where can we find you?
Well, I'm on a lot of more social media.
I don't know if it's my turn because I don't actually.
Not yet.
Ed,
it's Mike's going right now.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a lot of the different social media websites, and basically everything will be under the app Zip Comic UK. I think I'd like to encourage the people to join my mailing list, though. My website at zipcomic.co.uk. So we have like a mailing list called Zip Lines, and I sometimes do occasionally do indie comic reviews there too. It's zipcomic.co.uk, and join up the mailing list because I can post all kind of things on my blog, whereas with the social media you're kind of limited by their format.
Yes. All right. So, Aaron, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group for all my series, so Anenra, Blood and Fire, Ice and Bone, Amorpatris, and Pillars of Creation. And I'm on Instagram, which is my main platform. So Wroblewski, Aaron. I do have a Blue Sky, but I am trying to get more involved in it. But it's just kind of like at the moment it's on the background. So
Yeah.
I don't use Twitter at all anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I posted a Twitter post for at least a year, so I'm with you on that one. And Blue Sky, I have one. I have like one post on it, so I need to engage more as well. All right, so let Nick know it's his turn.
Nick, it is your turn.
You're up.
How's it going? Yeah, so I'm Nick Ilanowski. You can find me on Blue Sky at Starving Author, one word. I'm on Instagram more, which is cynical_but_fun. Cynical but fun. I'm on Substack at starvingauthor.substack.com. I have a Facebook page called Starving Author Press, which is my publishing imprint. Obviously, my Kickstarter is running. It's only running for 3 more days, though. So, although I will have late pledges enabled, and yeah, that's those are the places you can find me.
All right. Sounds good. And you can find me at Finish Line Comics on all the different social media. Instagram is my most active, so I'd say that's your best bet for me, but I'm on all of them, so just search up Finish Line Comics. And if you can follow Immortal Era, it would be great, because right now I haven't really started promoting. I was finishing up the school year, so now it's just the year's over, time to put the second hat on and get back into comic creating. So everyone, thank you for coming on, and have a great rest of your weekend. And whatever con is watching us, thank you, fill in the blank, for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
If you missed the live viewing of any Meg production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. Madness Entertainment Group.